So we sing Thunder.
The
beginning of Thunder, when they have the countdown, like they almost have it inside where they're firing it up.
Yeah.
Do you have any idea?
I don't have any idea what you're talking about, but we are live now. Hey, welcome, folks. Welcome to episode 3 of Dream Big, Be Bold. Excited to have you joining us here. I am joined by two of my colleagues here. To my right, Matt Hudson. To my left, Ron Clark. Welcome, gentlemen. Welcome.
Thank you.
Happy Friday to you both.
Happy Friday to you.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, how's the weekend looking?
Wonderful. Hot.
Yeah.
Hot? It is going to be hot. It's going to be 90-something degrees this weekend.
Crazy.
So it's going to be kind of crazy here. We do have a studio audience with us today. So, yeah, hey, how you doing? So, hey, folks, we are here talking about dreaming big, being bold, raising an army of entrepreneurs here in the sales world. Excited for what we are doing, what we are accomplishing. Could not happen without these two folks sitting next to me here. So, really happy to have you all with us here. We're about 6 weeks. This will be the end of 6 weeks of Q2 in the sales world. If you're in sales, you know what I'm talking about. Next week, Wednesday, we'll be halfway through the second quarter. Talk to me about the pressure of sales. Do you enjoy it?
Hey, you know, I'm an athlete, right? So by nature, and therefore I'm extremely competitive.
Yeah.
So yes, of course. I mean,
enjoy it.
The opportunity to always be able to prove who you are, always be able to excel at something means everything. So when you get down a little bit, you know, you always feel like, give me the ball, coach.
Give me the ball. Put me in. Put me in, coach. I'm ready to play. Awesome. How about you, Matt?
I completely agree. You know, also coming from an athletic background, obviously I have competitive tendencies as well. So, you know, I love in our business having it. You know, it's not like a normal job. This is really the only big boy job I've ever had. So I'm not sure how most jobs go, but you know, I don't know that you have quarterly expectations and yearly expectations in your typical 9-to-5 job. Sure,
right.
Some you do, maybe some you don't. But I love that we have expectations that we are tasked with hitting, and you know, the pressure that comes along with it, whether real or perceived, you know, it's there. At least in my head it is. You know, when you finally do at the end of a quarter, or ideally not totally at the end of a quarter, hit your numbers, you know, hit your different metrics and that sort of thing, it's, you know, it's so rewarding. Not just from a financial perspective, but also just from a team and from a leadership perspective.
Right. Talk to me a little bit about, because you both have teams, what's it like preparing them to go to battle, let's put it that way, and the pressure that comes along with that?
It's trying to keep people motivated.
Right.
Most of the sales teams we have are pretty self-motivated, but keeping them motivated and keeping them organized. You know, things can change quickly in a sales environment, right? I mean, one day everything looks lined up. It looks like you're just going to coast into it. You know, everybody is being really positive, so you're saying this is going to happen, this is going to happen. And like that, it can turn to this pushes. Somebody says, oh, we're going to do this later. Another person, something comes up in their lives, so they're like, I just don't have time for this. So everything can change. Teaching people to constantly be looking at, you know, building a better tomorrow. So every day is building a better future and keeping them focused on that. I mean, we're trying to hit a quarter, but at the same time, you realize you can't put all the energy into winning today's game by itself. You got to understand that I need to make sure I walk out of here healthy. I got to make sure I'm prepared and ready for the next one that comes, because there will be another one after this. Right. So
it never stops.
It never stops,
never
right?
stops.
So helping people to realize that you just got to keep striving. You know, in our world, helping people to understand that just because you made some good money today doesn't mean you should take a break. Right. You got to keep on pushing. You got to. I have to always say, okay, where are we at right now? What's next? And what's going on? Where are you going? How's it looking? And trying to keep people focused. That, you know what, this is a constant hustle. Right. But it's a good one. You know, it gives you and your family a great future. But for me, I love that. I mean, working with people, working to keep them motivated, helping them figure out ways to improve themselves. I love that. But, you know, being in these kind of roles, you also know you have to manage the bigger picture, too. So making sure you can give enough focus to people and at the same time give the focus necessary to be able to achieve your goals. That can be challenging at times.
Yeah. How about you?
Yeah, I definitely think that from a team perspective, it helps to have a strategy. I think, maybe in a lot of sales environments, there isn't necessarily a plan of what things look like, not just a week, a month from now, but 2 months from now, 3 months from now. And that's the way that we have to be in our business. We have 7 weeks left in the quarter. We have to know what's going on 3 weeks from now, 4 weeks from now, in order to get where we need to be. So I think, as you build a team, making sure they understand that they are part of it.
Right.
This is, obviously this is an individual business. You have to, accomplish what you have to in order to pay the bills and that sort of thing. But ultimately, you are a part of a team. I think getting people to understand that, from a team perspective, when the team wins, everybody wins.
Right.
And I know not everyone always feels that way, but I truly believe that that is the case. And I think we built the culture here, in comparison to, maybe other teams and in years past, that this does feel like a team. We're all in the same office and we all see each other, multiple times a week. Which I think has been very beneficial to building the team atmosphere that we currently have.
I think, Jay, you use the word all the time, other-centered, right?
Right.
And in roles like ours, in some form of a leadership role, staying other-centered is really important, understanding that it's about them. That I help you to be as successful as you can be. And if I can help the next person be as successful as I can be as the leader of a team, that makes me successful.
Right.
So realizing that it's not about my individual success, but it's about everyone else's success. Trying to remember that and stay focused on that. Because you still got a life, you still got a family to take care of, responsibility to take care of, but understanding that now it's your job to help them be successful. And if they are successful, then you are successful.
Right.
Like I said, I'm being I hate to say former athlete, but physically, if you look at me, I'm a former athlete, right?
I think you're still an athlete.
Yeah, that's right.
But,
that's right.
Being a former athlete, it was like if it got tight and if it got to the point where it was on the line, then I was like, it's time for me to take over.
Right.
So in this time that we got, a few weeks left in this quarter, and it's like my mind says, take over, go do this, go do this, go do this. But realizing that, you can't get in that mode. You got to motivate the team. You got to keep everybody encouraged. You got to use everyone and understand that you got to trust that if you're doing right by them, they'll do right and we'll get the overall goal achieved.
Yeah.
That's the challenge, but it's a worthwhile challenge.
I think consistency is key in our business. No matter what sales business that you're in, you've got to be prepared. You have to be consistent. And it was interesting. We had a first rounds on me Thursday last night. Both of you guys were there. Thank you for that. And it's just a time really for our team to get together, just to enjoy in a social environment, no work. Of course, we end up talking about work because that's a natural thing for a lot of entrepreneurs. But that consistency or being prepared on a daily basis. And one of the things I was talking about is you remember this, we saw a lot of shots. We were at a restaurant bar going to a table and we had this conversation, on a Thursday. What's Friday going to look like for that table?
Did I miss that part?
You did miss that part. You were already gone.
Okay.
But I was thinking about it, and the message I put out this morning to the team was that Friday is 20% of your week. You know what I mean? And a lot of people, I think, discount that and start looking at Friday, especially as an entrepreneur. I can make my own schedule. I can do what I need to do. But the true entrepreneur realizes that they got to maximize every single moment of their day, of their week. And there is time to play. I'm going to be gone next week, right? I'm going to be going out and having a vacation, and my lovely wife and I are going to have a great time. But you work hard so you can play hard, right? And to me, though, the consistency of this business of leadership and running sales teams is that they have to be prepared, to go to market every single day. And if they are, then they can be very, very successful. That lack of preparedness, though, sets people up for false expectations. Why aren't I getting what I thought I was going to get. So to me, leadership, that consistent message, consistency in your actions as leaders, showing them to our teams is really, really important.
You know, you think about it. I mean, entrepreneurship is. My barber is opening up a new place, so he shut down where he was at, and he's waiting to get the other one going. Right. So of course I'm like, hey, I need a cut. Hurry up. But one of the things he said to me, he says, don't worry, I'm gonna get it open quick. He says, because for every day this shop isn't open, I'm not making money. And he says, I put stuff aside to help me. He says, but I can't deplete that because I'm taking this time off. And I look at it from this standpoint. What we do, if you're not working, not every day, but if you're not working consistently, then you just basically it's like shutting the store down.
Correct.
But the store is what provides you with the resources to be able to take care of your family. But if you shut the store down for 3 or 4 days, then you got to understand the revenue that was normally brought in on those days is not there now. So if you're accustomed, and I'm going to use real small numbers, if you're accustomed to getting $100 a week and that paid help you pay for your food and all other things like that, if you shut the store down for 3 days, now you got $20. Well, if you needed $100 to pay those bills, take care of those responsibilities, now it's not there.
Right.
And helping people to understand that, I want to take this time, I want to do this, I got to do all this. We're like, just understand, you shut the store down. So resources cannot come in when you do that.
That's a great example.
So you got to be careful to realize that, did you plan accordingly so that if you're going to have the store shut, that you had already prepared for what happens, because it's going to happen. There will be no resources coming in on those days. Are you prepared for that? And most people, when they first come in, don't think that way. They just think, like, I can start it back up. Well, you know what? Like my barber, when he finally opens back up, it's like 10 or 20 or 30 of us are like, hey, I'm overdue. And he can't get that done in a day. So now you got to work hard. You got to go through a whole lot more. It's going to be a lot more stress on him and his family dynamic because of it. So, you got to understand that. And I'm hoping for everybody who's in our environment, they'll realize that we work hard every day, but we do that because that hard work is what takes care of our responsibilities. It takes care of the lifestyle that we enjoy. And I enjoy my lifestyle.
Yeah.
Dave. I really, really do.
Absolutely. I get it. I mean, it's this business pays you what you're worth, right? Absolutely. So if you're going to give it 50%, you might not get 50% of the earnings out of this business. 60, 70. Another message to the team the other day was this: you can't do 80, 90. This is 150% business. We're entrepreneurs here, so we've got to go. If we want what our ultimate goal is, if we want to get there, then we've got to really, really push now. This is green time. You know what I mean? In my opinion, you always hear the stoplight analogy. Red time is, green time's when you're making money. Red time's not money-making activities. So that's one of the things I think we have to keep folks motivated on. That's the hard part. That's the hard part of the job. Everybody wants it because they see what's capable of in this business. But that work ethic that comes along with it is key. It's very, very key.
To kind of follow up on what Ron said too, the gentleman who was here a couple weeks ago, and then
Steve Jecker.
On Monday,
Steve
yes.
Jecker, yeah.
Who gave an awesome talk for us. And then I had heard something similar in a podcast that I was listening to in the previous month. And if you really, especially in a business like this, if you quantify what your time is worth, okay, it's awesome that we can take off Friday afternoons and play golf, right?
Right.
I'm not going to say I've never
done that.
Not that
you ever do that.
Not that I've ever done it before. But it's awesome that we have the ability to do that.
Right.
You have an awesome week. Celebrate, right? Like we do on Thursday nights, we come together and we have a good time, but we work on Fridays, generally speaking, right? But if you really quantify what each hour, whether you're working a 35-hour week, 40-hour week, 50-hour week, 60, whatever it is, but if you really quantify what each hour is worth, then if you take an afternoon off, how much money did you cost yourself?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So if you're used to making $20 an hour, if you do the math, and that's what you're working 40 hours a week, that's what you're worth. Well, if you take 4 hours off, theoretically, you cost yourself $80. Right. So when you kind of put it in that perspective, obviously we are straight commission, but as you work towards a goal, as this business is not just about selling one-on-one, right? It's about preparing yourself to
great point.
everything
Great
that
point.
goes into it. The preparation. I mean, actually, very, very little of our business is the actual one-on-one sales.
Right.
You guys,
I agree.
you obviously
Yeah.
would agree with that,
Yeah,
I
right?
agree completely.
I mean, how much front-end work do you have to put in order to close a 400-man group? Probably more than you actually do one-on-one.
That's so true, Matt. You gave me a different thought when you're just saying that, is that what we do is really about building relationships, right?
Right.
Absolutely.
And if you're in a relationship, being in a relationship means you got to give time, right? Quality time, that kind of thing, right?
Right.
So that means that you're consistently talking with someone, you're consistently understanding what they need and all those kind of things. Well, when you're not there, what happens if you're not there, right?
Right.
What you don't want is somebody creeping in on your relationship, right? Because you aren't there.
Right.
So being out there, being consistently, following up. I have a person on my team who I'm really impressed with the amount of time that he spends following up with people, right? Gary goes in and he talks to these people, and then he goes back and he talks with them, and he talks with them. And people who are kind of hesitant, or should I say not in a hurry to do anything, because of the relationship, they just want to do it for him. Hey, let's do this. Let's start our relationship off together. But if he takes those days off and he's not consistent and he's not following up and he's not constantly working on that relationship, those deals don't happen.
Sure.
Yep.
And I got people on my team like that, right? They
Yeah.
they have all these skills and these gifts and these abilities,
Right.
But they don't build that relationship part. Is not.
Right.
They don't put enough focus in it, and then they just get so frustrated when it didn't happen again. It didn't happen again. Well, they're not committed to you yet.
Right.
They get committed to you when you're committed to them.
Cool. Let's switch gears here. You see our screen change there. We have our internship program starting here at our Dream Big region, and we are looking for interns for the summer here. And this isn't, the typical find me coffee, make me copies. This is you are submersed into the world of sales. So if that speaks to you, if your heart says, wow, I'd love to give that a shot, this is the perfect opportunity to reach out to us. You see back there Melissa Collins, who just want to introduce Melissa. There you can see our number. It is 502-451-2244. Melissa has joined us as our Director of Recruitment, and we will get her on this show here to introduce herself properly. But we are looking at internships, been doing a lot of speaking at colleges and that, and seeing a lot of interest. Because folks, if you've ever thought to yourself, I would love to give this an opportunity, but I don't know if it's right for me. Okay, this is the time that you can stick that toe in the water and check it out and see if it's right for you. It's we're talking a limited time frame here, typically about 3 months or a quarter. But we're excited about the Dream Big Region internship program, and we want to build that as much as we can. So if that speaks to you, make sure you reach out to Melissa. You can reach her at 502-451-2244, and we are interviewing for that. And one of the nice things about it, if you're on the internship piece, we take care of your licensing. You have to be licensed to sell in our industry, and we will take care of the fees for that for you. So if nothing else, you walk away with a health license on the backside of it. So that's a pretty good thing there. So any thoughts on? Let's talk about internships. You guys do any internships in your past life?
Yeah, well, think about it. When I went into the Navy,
Right.
in my time serving, they were asking, "What do you want to be? What do you want to do?" I had no clue. Dave. I was all about the sports. So when that time was over with, I was like, I have no idea what I want to do. So the program I went into the service with was a program where you go on board and you get on the ship, and then you get a chance to kind of like review each job. So you spend time in that department, you spend time working with those people, teams, to see how it is. Then you figure out if this is what I want to do. And then once you decide this is what you do, then you start taking your classes to become that. It was really important to me to be in it, right? So I got in the service, I got a chance to look at different things, and then I found something that fit me. Now, if you'd asked me beforehand, that wouldn't have been for me. No, I wanted to be, truthfully, I would have said, I think I'm better than that role.
Right.
But when I did that role, I was like really, really good at it. And it came natural, and I didn't have to think or do it. I just did it because it worked off my natural abilities. Internship gives you the ability to find out, does it come natural, or will this be hard? Will this be difficult? There's always going to be challenges.
Right.
But you'll know you have a passion for it, right? So you'll get a chance to go out, and you'll be out there, you'll get a chance to experience this world that we live in, the excitement, the thrill, the ups, the downs, and then you can say, you know what, this is my passion. I want to do it. And the great thing about it, if you've done that, that means you've spent time out there, so you really already got your career started. So I think it's a very positive thing.
Yep. How about you? Any internships?
I have had some, and before I discuss those, I think you made such a great analogy of dipping your toe in the water.
Right.
Because we always say, especially when you come on and join us, this is your career, you jump into the water.
You're right. That's
you pretty much
exactly
have
right.
to jump.
Good point.
But this would give you the opportunity to actually dip your toe into the water and see if it's something you want to do, right? So I thought that was an interesting point. Yes, I interned actually when I was in college with ESPN Radio for a couple years up in Indianapolis. And, one was kind of a promotional type deal, and then 1 year was actually in the studio environment, which was like running the board and, making sure, I hit the dump button if anybody cussed on air and that sort of thing. So, which would happen occasionally.
That never happened.
No, with Dan Dowkage, it did happen a couple times. So, but no, we, but it was kind of a high pressurized environment. But it gave me an opportunity to see if that was something I wanted to do. And ultimately, it was something I wanted to do. It came out of college at a time when, unfortunately, it wasn't really when anyone was hiring. But I'm obviously thrilled to be doing what I'm doing now. But having those experiences and getting to try different things was, I feel like, very beneficial. Because I mean, you can learn even if it's not a career or a field that you're necessarily going to go into.
Right.
There's a lot of different things that you can learn from experiences like that.
Well, I agree. I had one when I turned 18 with the Jefferson County government. Ran a summer program, internship program, and I signed up for it and was chosen because I was 18. There was only 2 of us that were 18. Everyone else was 17, 16. And they put me in the jail because I was old enough to work in the jail and the maintenance. I wasn't locked up, but I do have a couple funny stories.
While you were there, you were locked up.
Yeah, I was actually. I was. And but no, I had to clean out the huge air conditioners that sit on top of these buildings, and you climb into them, and it's water up to your, a little bit above your knees. Had to put on the waders and go in, and it was not. Yes, and what it taught me.
Does not sound glamorous.
No, but it did teach me a lot.
I bet.
It taught me a lot about hard work. And also, what I really wanted to do in life was not climb into air conditioners and clean them for a living. Not that there's anything wrong with that at all, because that's good work. But it was an interesting time. I will tell you one funny story. I was working with the maintenance guy on a jail door, and I leaned back and didn't know the silent alarm button was right behind me. And I lean back on it, and I'm sitting there watching him work, and I hear it's like Star Wars stormtroopers coming running around. They've got shields, and they just kind of come to a stop and look at me.
You just set the prison riot alarm off.
I did. It was the funniest thing. And so I wasn't allowed on that floor anymore. But anyway, I was 18, so what do you say? But I learned from that, too.
I'm sure you did.
Watch where you lean. So anyhow. But hopefully our internship, like I said, I spoke some at Sullivan University, had some good response from that, and we're going to be at U of L. We're doing some things differently. So excited Melissa's with us because she is really growing our opportunities with the college recruiting as well as just our career recruiting, because that's a huge point of emphasis for us here. I was on a call the other day and I was talking about we have things here. You got to think, when we started here, we were 1.3. We're probably going to head to 3.5 this year. So it's tremendous growth. And we've got these systems built. We have everything built. Now we just need to feed the beast, as somebody told me the other day. You got it together. But so I'm excited about what we're going to be able to do here from an internship and career as we continue to grow. We've been talking a lot about horizontal growth. You know what I mean? That's just kind of that good percentage growth, but not really. I think we're now prepared for vertical growth. Absolutely. And that's where we really blow things out, because our goal here is not to be ordinary. It's to be extraordinary. And we're on pace for that. We're on pace to do that. So let's get back. We were talking about preparedness. You were talking about that conversation that you were having Any other final thoughts on being prepared when you go to market?
You know, just this conversation is kind of using the sports analogy that Ron brought up. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, we are getting ready to go into halftime. Great. And it's time to make some adjustments. I mean, I can say that certainly from my team's perspective, it's been a little bit of a slow start to the quarter. I do feel that, you know, we have what we need in the second half already lined up. But I do think we need to make some adjustments. So, you know, Wednesday of next week is the halfway point of the quarter. It's crazy to say already. But, you know, getting ready to go into halftime, we'll make some adjustments and, you know, come out in the second half swinging.
Fantastic. Great analogy.
Yeah, I like that. I look at it. One of the things I've learned about this is so different than the other things I've done in my career is that it's constant adjustments. Mm-hmm. Right? You know, it's funny. I was one of the newer agents who said, "So what do you say?" And what I said to her 3 weeks ago, and then what I said this time was so different. Well, that's not what you said before. I was like, because I'm constantly adjusting based on the environment, the people I interact with, everything. I'm always trying to reinvent myself to be a better me. Right. That doesn't mean anything wrong with the me that I am today, but I just believe that tomorrow's me is better than today's me. So the only way that I can be better than I was today is to be a little bit different. Right. And the only way you can do that is to make the adjustments, right? You say you go into halftime and you realize, okay, what have I been doing? Now, I might have been good at what I'm doing, but I don't believe I'm just good. Right. As you said, I think I'm extraordinary. Right. I don't even think it, truthfully, I know it. So if I'm playing to a good level, then I need to get back out there and make the adjustments to play at the extraordinary level. So I think the being where we are right now, I know that there's a half quarter left to go. Now we might have operated at fair, we might have operated at good. Now it's time to operate at excellent, outstanding, and extraordinary. One, I believe that we can, and then secondly, then we just need to execute. So I'm looking forward to executing in this other half of this quarter. To show the world who we really are. Right. As a team, we're extraordinary.
Well, we're called Dream Big for a reason. Dream big, be bold. One of the things that I always tell my team is they were chosen to be here.
That's right.
You were chosen because you have gifts. You have gifts, and we see those gifts, and they translate well into the entrepreneurial world, into working with our clients because of it's hard. It's a hard business. I mean, I'm not going to kid you. It is a tough business that we're in. Sales is tough, but I always say we are tougher. So the fact that you're chosen, and the thing I love is what you were just talking about is we're not scripted. You know what I mean? I mean, we're teaching consultative selling. And what consultative selling says is that every individual is different, so we have to meet them where they are. And if we're able to do that, we find success. But if we go in and we try to pound them on what we are and how good we are in that, we have to be serving our clients. And that's that's a hard thing for people to adjust to sometimes because our paychecks are tied to how well we do that. So we got to use our giftedness and find that giftedness and then let it shine out to our clients, and you'll find success if you show up.
There you go.
Every single day. And it's always back to that. I've seen some extremely talented people walk into our door, walk into our organization that I would have said 20 years from now, they're wherever they want to be in life. I mean, they're set, basically, but would not go to work. You can't do that. So I agree with both of you. I just think what we're building here is special, but the ability to cultivate that and to change and to grow within your sales gifts, and your sales gifts is key. So, hey folks, you see the slide there. We are coming to the end of episode 3 of Dreaming Big, Being Bold. Again, we are raising an army of entrepreneurs, and as I like to say, dream big, folks, because amazing things are happening here. As you can see, we have career interviews that are happening right now that we're scheduling. We have internship appointments that we're scheduling. You want to reach out, call Melissa at 502-451-2244 to set that up, to become part of something extremely special. Cannot tell you how excited I am about what we have accomplished in the 4 years we've been together. together here as the Dream Big region and what we continue to accomplish. And where we are now and where we are a year from now are two totally different places. And folks, and I'm not talking going the other way, I'm talking going up. So have a great week. Thanks for joining us. Remember to find us on YouTube. Hit subscribe. Just search for Dream Big Region. Take care and have a great day.